Hi guys, this is JB and Minot, and I got tagged by padoca85, and so I'm going to respond to that tag right now. This is my first tag video, so bear with me. The first question is, what is the coolest game or gaming related item you own? Well, over the years I've had several consoles of games, but I've never kept the originals of them. I usually pawned them or sold them to somebody, and then later on I would go out and rebuy them somewhere, with one exception though, and this is the Super NES. This is the original NES I bought about 20 years ago, and it still works like a charm. I even bought it with SimCity, and I still got that cart too, and it still works. And like I said, you know, this might be a little bit conventional, but I like it. So, and this is the only original console that I own. All the other ones I pawned and rebought them over the years, so it's pretty cool. I like it. I still got the original controllers for it, still got the original cords for it, and it all works just fine. Alright, the second question is, what is the rarest game or gaming related item you own? Well, I generally don't go out and pay a whole lot of money at a time for games, because I'm a cheap collector. But there's one game that I'd say is the rarest I've got, but I don't know how rare it is. When I bought this used about 5 to 7 years ago from GameStop. It's Intelligent Cube for the PS1. It cost me 45 bucks at the time. Now you can go on Amazon.com and it costs you about 49 bucks. But I had a brand new version of this, but I took it to work one day and I lost it. It disappeared. So I had to buy a new one, and this was the only one available. It was used. So that is probably the most expensive game, probably the rarest game I've got, unless you count some of these weird Game Boy games I got, but I haven't found a price on any of those. And what is the weirdest game or gaming related item that you own? Well, the weirdest game that I own is a series of games. They're the Bit Generation games from Game Boy Advance that were only released in Japan. And they're by the same people who do, they're no longer called Bit Generations. They're called art style games. They got a bunch of them on the DSi, but these were only released in Japan. And what makes these stand out are the graphics, and the gameplay are really, really simple, but the style of them and especially the scores for the Game Boy Advance are fantastic. Some of the best scores I've ever heard on a Game Boy Advance. It's just crystal clear and very techno and very just wild. Some of them you have to actually use the sound to in fact there's no screenshot on one of them. I think it's Sound Voyager. There's really no screenshot to show. You have to listen for sound. But there's 7 of them, and I've got all 7. I bought them from PlayAsia.com. The only one that's available now from PlayAsia.com is Boundish for 10 bucks, but all the rest of them are out of stock. You can't even buy them from PlayAsia.com anymore. You can't buy them from Amazon.com. I don't know where you would buy them, but you'd probably have to go to eBay or something like that. Anyway, these are the games. Dial Hex, Sound Voyager, Colorus, Dotstream, which I believe has been re-released on the WiiWare, Digidrive, which I know has been released on the DSiWare, Boundish, and the last one, which is pretty cool, is Orbital. Okay, last question. He asks, what is your favorite game based on an anime, a TV series, or a movie? Well, we all know that 99% of movie, TV, or anime-based games tend to suck. But there's a couple of them that I really love. One of them being Batman Arkham Asylum, which I don't have available right now. but hopefully I'll get that back soon. But one of my favorite games of all time, one of my favorite, probably my top 10 favorite Game Boy Advance games, Astro Boy Omega Factor. I wasn't even an Astro Boy fan until I started playing this game. Never saw an Astro Boy episode, but this game is so fun. It's a shooter, platformer type game. The controls are very intuitive. The storyline is great and touching, and it's very charming, and the sound is great. Everything's just great. It's an excellent game. You can buy it used on Amazon.com for $11, but I think new ones of these go for 30-something bucks at Amazon.com. But it's a great game if you're a collector, and if you like games like Mega Man and Metroid and stuff like that, you can't go wrong with this game if you're a collector, especially if you love the Game Boy Advance like I do. So it's just a great game. Okay, those were all my questions for padoca85, and I want to thank him personally for tagging me, and I recommend you go to his site. And thank you for listening, and feel free to leave any comments, and hopefully I'll come out with a new video pretty soon here. Thanks. Good night.